Welcome, my beautiful soul family. It feels like I haven't talked to you in so long. Now, I know that I'm talking to you over on Lula's Life, but this is different, right? This is like our little special space. This is where we connect with spirit directly. So, you're going to notice that this channel is going to be making some changes. You may have noticed some changes already in the About section. I've kind of cleaned that up. Also, Spirit has links to contribution apps and channels. They have a new link on the front. I'm not sure if you are going through your YouTube app or if you're going through your computer. But for myself, I noticed that I was like, oh, that's cool. Like they have the links like right like underneath your information, which is really great, like underneath the title of your channel. So I am no longer going to be doing moon readings on this channel that I am aware of in this moment at this time. In real time, it's August 12th, 2023, and we are at the end of the Lionsgate portal. Just like any other transition, there's always going to be the shadow energy, and shadow isn't necessarily considered quote unquote bad. Shadow is just what it is. It's a shadow. So also I've been hearing from Spirit reflection. It's a time for us to reflect upon what is about to happen when something is about to happen and when something is at the end of something. Also, all my windows are open, so there's an airplane. I feel like that's a message for somebody. I feel like that's like if you've been asking whether or not you should take that trip, relocate somewhere where you'd have to take an airplane. I feel like that's a huge yes for some and no for others. And I know that sucks, but I guess we're going to find out in the readings, huh? Because I heard yes and then I heard no. But also I'm hearing for some of you the no is because you're in the like no, I shouldn't do that, or blah, blah, blah. And you know what? Sometimes you got to do things for yourself that you wouldn't normally do. With that being said, before you, we have 3 readings, technically 4, but there are 3 that are personal to your situation or will have some type of impact or reflection on your particular situation. But then in front of you laying down is the 4th reading, which is a bonus reading for the tribe. There, as you can see, there's more than one card there. On the other readings 1, 2, and 3, and you know, we're going 1, 2, 3, left to right, however you see it. Also, I have a feeling they're going to have me put either an emoji or angel numbers or something. So when you go to the description box below, you can find that there. Oh, you know what? I just thought of something. Oh, you know what? I just thought of something. So as you guys know, in the past, I was doing these readings where you watch the reading like this. And then you go to the description box and you click on a link and go to your reading. The readings are all going to be on, that's what they were trying to tell me before. I didn't understand. Now I get it. So some of you know, if you don't know, my apologies, but my phone has a dead zone, and now the dead zone is becoming a little more, and until I get a new phone, a new camera, a new system, whatever that will be, for now I'm going to have to just put them as their own reading. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't do, before I would do like links and then you'd go and click on the link, but because I can't copy and paste anymore, and my memory is just not that good, that's not going to happen. So you're just going to see them on the page as reading 1, reading 2, reading 3, intro reading, intro to this reading, you know, kind of thing, introduction. And maybe that's how they're going to have me do it, or maybe it's just temporary until I get a new setup. Also, I cannot tell you when the next pick a reading is going to be. As a lot of you know, my husband and I, we are officially in our lease. We moved to this property a year ago. It was actually the new moon in Leo a year ago. We moved to this property and we've been waiting for some remodels that they said would take a few months. They took a year, but awesomely and ironically enough, the day that they finished the remodel, was a year to the day we were here. What? Actually, to the date, because technically the day was on a Thursday, but like to the date, it was like that day on a Friday. He's like, okay, guys, you can move in now. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. That's crazy town. So I just want to tell you to, I'm sure we'll talk about it in the readings, but I just want to give a little shout out and say, listen, sometimes our manifestations take a little bit longer. If you're like, hey, I want to manifest a piece of chocolate cake, most likely it'll probably come to your orbit in a short period of time. If you're like, hey, I want to manifest $1 million, I want to live in, a high rise, by the water, whatever it is, I want to own the building. It might take you a few minutes. It might take you a few years. You may win the lottery and it comes all at once. It's different for everybody. For my personal experience, my husband and I met 8 years ago this past May. That summer, which was 8 years ago this summer, we came up to the Olympic Peninsula and I fell in love with it. He showed me where his mom's family was from, where his dad's family were from. It was just this really cool experience, and I fell in love with this peninsula. And over the 8 years that we were together, we would take more vacations and more trips up here, and I fell more and more in love with it. And because in the past, I was such a powerful manifester and such a powerful witch and such a powerful manipulator to get what I wanted, I got used to the instant gratification. I used my looks. I used my sexuality. I used being a woman. I used victim. I used everything. You name it, I used it, because I learned in a short period of time that I could use and manipulate these energies to get what I wanted. But you know what that got me? That got me 8 years of hard fucking lessons, hard times, so to speak. But I chose it. It was in my soul contract. If someone had told me a year ago that if I stayed here for a year in this off-grid RV like we did, if somebody told me that, I may not have liked it, but I would have come to peace with it and I would have done things probably a lot differently. However, because I did not, it made me face the darkest parts of myself and then to go inside of my shadow and live there for days and hours at a time so that I can really work through it, forgive it, love it, and let go of it. Because every time I was like, you know what, we're going to move. Thank you so much for this opportunity. We've got enough saved. We've been looking, blah, blah, blah. He'd say, I'm almost done. Seriously, he's like, I know, blah, 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 but, and this went on for a year. Now, it was a tough year because during that time, our landlord would present us with situations or things that, because of what my husband and I had been through, we weren't very trustworthy. We barely trusted each other, let alone trusted any outside influences. We weren't talking to our parents that were alive, our family that was alive, because we realized, our friends, our family, we didn't know who to trust anymore, who to believe, while we were coming into who we are, remembering who we are, trying to be who we are without any outside influences. It was fucking tough. But I wouldn't trade a thing. I wouldn't trade a second of it now. But when I was in it, you couldn't talk to me. I was angry. I was bitter. You guys watched me. The only thing that kept me going was those moon readings. If I didn't have those 8 moon cycle readings, 8 readings a month, I had to show up. Now, did I have to? No, but I committed to that. And I am the type of entity that I am aware of that when I commit to something, I'm going to do my damnedest every day. Even if it's not, the best, I still showed up. Even when I was sick, even when I was tired, I showed up. And I showed you guys versions of myself during it saying, listen, I know you're struggling. I know you're having a hard time. I am too. And we hung in there together. So For those of you who keep coming back, welcome back. And for those of you who are new here, welcome. Welcome to the Magical Medium. Moving forward, as far as I know, we're going to be doing picker readings on this channel, and I don't know if they will be influenced by anything else but the fact that we will be doing picker readings. On my other channel, Lula's Life, there's a link here. You can go to my other channel, and I'm going to be doing a lot of awesome things. I'm not even sure. I have this feeling that it may even go back to Lula's Labyrinth. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. It's just Lula's Labyrinth has been floating around my brain again. So I was like, interesting. Like, what does that mean? I'm not quite sure. But that's what it is. Lula's Life is just like my life. Like, I want to talk about the things that I'm going through. I want to, do readings for you guys. Right now, they're having me do these kind of like readings for the tribe over there. So I don't know if that's going to continue. Like I said, I am a servant of spirit, of God, of the Lord, of you know what I mean, of the goddess, of the divine feminine, of the divine masculine. I am just here. Oh, hello. We have a beautiful deer walking by. Hello. So our spirit animals from now, by the way, this reading, what I got from Spirit is that this is basically from like everything that happened to you during the Lionsgate portal. So whenever you watch this, okay, from July 28th, 2023 until August 12th, 2023, anything that transpired in there, any ideas you came to, maybe you started, painting again, maybe you started like, photographing, photographing animals again, or whatever it is. A deer just walked by. So, before that was another deer that's on our property that is injured, and she is a trooper. I've watched her, I've prayed for her, I've sent her Reiki, but I'm going to tell you something. She's a trooper. I watch her fall and I watch her get right back up, and I've never seen her once. I've never felt any energy from her about feeling sorry for herself. She never feels sorry for herself because it's her instinct to survive. And Spirit wants us to get out of the survival mode and go into the living mode. They want us to laugh. They want us to have fun. They want us to play. This, for the next several months, whenever you watch this, but in real time for us, in the next several months, we are going to be going through so many transitions and retrogrades and eclipse seasons coming back around. So take it easy on yourself, on others. This is the time for unconditional love and gentleness, which is all about what the deer medicine is. Please research the deer medicine on your own. The other animal that wants to come through is the grasshopper. And the grasshoppers have been everywhere. And I knew right before we got our house, because we just decided, like, those of you who are in my secret circle that you get personal messages from me, I told you guys, I'm like, we're out of here. Spirit told us just to keep this going until he's done. And then when he's done, our house will show up and blah, 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 blah. So nothing had showed up when the house was done. I was completely blindsided. I was like, so what? And then I realized that, yes, this is our home. Yes, this is our land. And the truth is, for the last few weeks that he's been gone, it's been so amazing. We haven't worked on the cabin as much as we've wanted to, but he's been really gracious to give us a little time to do that. So it's just been wonderful and lovely all the way around, because it's been a difficult year for everybody. In my situation, in our group, and the construction, everybody that worked on this project, and the home and the land, we are so eternally grateful. But even just out there energetically, you guys, it's been tough. But at the same time, the grasshopper energy is all about abundance and good fortune and staying in a lighthearted, like, think of Jiminy Cricket and the way he kept Pinocchio going, so lean on that. Maybe you've been seeing grasshoppers and deer more. Either way, work with those animals and any other animals and birds and slithery creatures. Yesterday, we saw 2 snakes, one that was super healthy and one that we couldn't tell if it was digesting its food or it was dead. It was really bizarre what was happening, but we just put it in a safe place, and I started to feel that transitional energy from Spirit about, like, it's time to, like, slither out of our skin, slither away from, like, those things that no longer serve us. Slithering is a beautiful energy. It's like going away gracefully. Today, and this may, for some of you, I don't want to trigger anything, so just be prepared. But today I was looking for new pieces of bark to use for our reading. I wanted to have like something new, something different. Long story short, I pulled back this beautiful piece of bark and there were maggots everywhere. And I remember when I used to think of that as like gross or vile or whatever. And I thought, no, they're just babies. They're just little babies. They're going to become another entity. They're not vile. They have a purpose just like we do, right? Like everything everything has a purpose. To everything, turn, 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 right? Like everything has a purpose. Even those people, those places, those things that you feel like they did you wrong, or they, you know what I mean? They all served a purpose. They all have a place. And so do you. So moving forward from now to the end of the year, it's just going to be really magical if you lean into those energies. So here are our messages. I've got about 20 seconds. So before you, again, reading 1, reading 2, reading 3, and this is the bonus reading for the tribe. I'm going to put it down as bonus reading and not for, okay? So I will see you at your reading. Like I said, they will be posted public for everyone to see, individual readings, okay? Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the year brings. I love you. Blessed be. Aho.